Danny Tanner on Full House and now Fuller House on Netflix is just one of the many credits for this man who's constantly on the road making people laugh. Good to see you, Bob Saget.
You too. I'm happy to be here. I knew you were a big Full House fan growing up as when you were a young girl. It was a show for 12-year-old girls, basically.
Well, but you were part of the eye candy for the older set.
I was
right?
eye candy. No, I was like a string bean dustbuster, and Stamos was always and still is. I mean, he's
has he aged at all? Seriously?
He has. He drinks the blood of baby bats, but
that's interesting.
And he's on the road right now with the Beach Boys all over Europe and stuff. So that's
come on now. Are you
no,
serious?
He still does it. Plays Kokomo.
What?
Yep. Got Greek yogurt dripping out of his mouth. He does what he's got to do.
Where did you just come in from? What have you been doing now?
I was doing some stand-up. I did Vegas. I did the place called the Brooklyn Bowl. I loved it.
Okay.
I was getting ready to do a special, but I went and shot the special last month in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And so that'll be coming up soon. I'm editing it right from here. I'm going to that, and then I'm going to go do some stand-up. I'm going to do the Irvine Improv, some clubs, but then I'm going to go direct and act in a movie called Jake over July and August. But the main thing I came here that you were so gracious to have me here for is on June 16th. You have always been so generous, Rich. For my scleroderma research, it's not mine, it's our Scleroderma Research Foundation. I lost a sister to this disease called scleroderma, which is a hardening of the skin. And she was misdiagnosed and didn't have to lose her life. And we've raised over $40 million in 25 years that I've hosted it. And so they're honoring me this year. No pressure, Bob. We're going to honor you, and I'm very honored. But please get the talent, Bob.
Right.
Please get the comedians and the music
Unfortunately, the only people you've been able to drum up are Zach Galifianakis, Jimmy Kimmel, Ray Romano, Jeff Garland, Bill Burr, the Counting Crows, and John Stamos. Other than that,
it is amazing.
Holy cow!
It is amazing that they said yes. They've all done it before.
Love you, man.
Zach is just—he's never done it before, and he's just he doesn't say yes to a lot of things.
Well, his stand-up,
he doesn't say nice. He is a very nice man, and he's so funny.
His stand-up is remarkable, where he'll just stand there with a notebook, right?
Yeah.
And then, unless this is the only times I've seen him, he's workshopping on stuff that
right
he's
at Largo
down.
or other places.
I mean, he is so funny. And then Kimmel.
Kimmel did the auction for us a year and a half ago. Were you at that one?
I was at that one, yeah.
That was a wonderful
Well, you
festival.
had him and you had Conan O'Brien. You had
last time was Jimmy Kimmel and Jeff Garland and I'm trying to think who else. My mind draws a blank. So many people and Jeff Garland and Jim Gaffigan and this year having Bill Burr, who's one of my favorites.
He was in that chair just 2 weeks ago. I love that
so
guy.
is there any ticks or fleas or anything?
Well, I mean, you tell me when you get up.
It
you know
just
what I'm
feels
saying? Do
buttery.
you feel anything right now?
I feel like he uses Mazzola on his lower parts. I actually love Bill Burr, and he said he would come to the event. I have to do this cleanly on here. He said, "I'm going to perform at the event," and this is on a text, but I'm not going to talk to you or make eye contact the whole time. And I said, "I'm okay with that." And he said, "Or I could come to the event and just rub your lower regions the whole time, but not perform." I said, "No, I would rather you not talk to me.
Yes.
And please do a set." And then Counting Crows is Adam Duritz and the band are flying in just to do the show. And the same thing is happening with Bill Burr. He is coming right off of Stephen Colbert the night before to take a red eye to do. It's June 16th. And can I give the website?
Please go for it.
It's Rich Eisen.
No.
It's srfcure.org.
Okay.
And that helps. A lot of people raise money. We raise money for research and give it to Johns Hopkins and Stanford and UCSF. And we're truly making progress. There's new medications and people are actually in remission. And I've been doing it for 25 years. And I won't stop until we are making a difference, but there's still people losing their lives to it.
And again, it's srfcure.org. And for those who don't know about scleroderma, please go there to learn more about it because it is as worthy a cause as any that's out there. And
you're so generous. You and Susie do so much. After the show's over, they come to the hotel room with me and they give me an oil rub down and they make me eat turtle wax.
Or is it the turtle wax that we rub?
That is. You get me a fine carnauba finish. And then I can go out and look.
Fantastic.
I was on the dating game once years ago, and they gave me. I lost.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I was on it twice.
As a contestant?
Yeah, because I was 22 years old.
So like Jim Lang was the MC?
Jim Lang and Chuck Barris. I got to know Chuck at that time. And I went on, and you got, medical coverage for the year. It was, AFTRA, the union.
Sure,
And so I did it twice, and I lost one time, and I won one time, but I couldn't go because the prize was a trip to Guatemala, but they had a civil war the next week. So I didn't get to go because they opened fire on the people that got off the plane.
So was that a win or a loss?
I mean, it worked out well.
Yeah.
And she was a lovely person, if I can recall. But I lost one time, and they gave me a turtle wax so I could do my car.
So you were bachelor number one, was Bob
Saget?
Saget?
One time bachelor number one, and another time bachelor number two.
So is there on your IMDb page? Does it say Bob Saget is bachelor one or bachelor number two? Is
No, but there was a Where Are They Now special years ago on ABC where they showed it. And they also had Tom Selleck and Mark Harmon.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people would do the show that were comedians. John Ritter did it when he was starting out, God bless him. It's before you get a job. You go on the dating game because they wanted to have comedians.
You have a credit for the Merv Griffin show.
I did
the dating
13
game
Merv
is not
Griffin shows,
on.
and he was very kind to me.
As a guest? 13?
No,
13?
I would just dress him before the show. Yes, I was a guest, and then I did 13. It was always 13. I don't know, it's odd, but Letterman's and Johnny Carson, I would sit and talk to him a dozen times.
Oh, man.
I was very, very fortunate.
Well, I want to take a break. We'll come back in 60
Can I talk
seconds.
about myself more? Narcissism is a hobby.
No. You can't spell narcissism without the letter I, Bob. We're back in 60 seconds with Bob Saget. I want your favorite Don Rickles story that's safe for work.
Done.
And then Chris Law over there wants to give you a full house quiz.
Anything he wants, and a full medical test.
That's what we meant by full house.
I want that.
Yeah. That's when we come back with Bob Saget here live. Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show. Bob Saget, another segment here with Bob. The poll question that we put on our Twitter feed was which one of us here on this show would people want to spend a birthday party with? Because Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, turned 76 today.
Well, happy birthday, Bob.
And so, there's a namesake right over there. Chris Brockman has as his birthday party every year something that I find is a scourge and an abomination. And I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind hearing what he does and to see your Bob Saget first blush reaction
again.
No, you love it. You absolutely think it's the greatest thing.
Yes, but you always lead the witness on this topic.
My bad.
So every year, like a dozen of my friends, we go to 26 Beach in Venice, and they have all these fancy burgers. We each order a burger, we cut it in half, and then we have a burger fantasy draft where we draw straws for selection order, and then that person who picks first can pick whatever burger they want. Sometimes it's a burger you ordered, sometimes it's one that he ordered or he ordered. And it's kind of up to the draw.
It's a snake draft. So if you have the top pick, you also have the 24th pick.
Right.
So there's thought when you order, do I want to try and make somebody else have to eat something that looks awful? Or do I order the best thing on the menu?
Which has happened.
And you can't duplicate orders.
What do you think, Bob? Would you want to go to something like that?
Well, I thought you were going to do something terrible with this burger. I thought it sounded like it was going to be inserted into your body or something.
Just in the regular
Rich's
orifice.
Objection to this is if I'm going to go somewhere and have dinner, I want to eat what I want to eat.
Yeah.
We're just making a fun kind of fantasy football element
The problem with that would be is if it had a lot of hot sauce or something didn't
Right.
agree with someone or had peppers or, God forbid it had something off the ground on it. But if it's a burger that's served there, the odds of being totally wrecked by it are very slim.
Yeah.
And if it's going in the normal cake hole, I think that you're fine. As long
Normal
as it's not
mode of
going,
operation.
as long as it's going downward and gravity's working to get rid of
Yes.
it instead of trying to defy gravity.
And there's alcohol to help the situation.
And
so-
you could drink to get rid of whatever it was.
Exactly.
But if you don't drink, people do have a right to eat what they want to eat. I do.
That's
So
what
I guess I'm on the bubble.
But everyone coming to this knows the format. We're not springing this upon people.
Would you?
I would participate in that.
So would you like to get an invite this year?
No.
No, absolutely not. I'd rather drink that yellow vermin, whatever the heck's in that bottle over there
right.
that looks like it's a
Canceling Bob's
specimen from
invite.
some older man's prostate exam.
So that would be a no. in the short answer.
So Saget is the no.
Okay.
Got it.
All
Okay.
right. Very good. But hey,
tried.
that's what he's doing. That's what I knew you tried. You worked it through sort of like a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire contestant. You walked through your answer. You almost phoned a friend. You almost, but
I
you
looked at it more as therapy.
you got it
It's
through
just an erotic rant.
Thank you, sir.
What's your favorite Rickles story? Give me a good
Well,
one.
Don Rickles, I get emotional about it. As you know him a long time.
Yes, sir.
I directed him in a movie called Dirty Work, Norm Macdonald, Artie Lang thing. And he was brilliant.
Really?
And then I became friends with him. Thanks to John Stamos, who was very close with him. I was also able to, he became like a dad to me after I lost my dad 10 years ago. You knew my dad.
I did meet him once.
Yes,
I did.
And he liked you. He said he touched you and you felt good. He said you had soft skin. But Don Rickles was one of the funniest people that will ever live and the most spontaneous person. And so I hadn't seen him for a year after I directed him in Dirty Work. And I was in a restaurant and he comes up to me in the middle of the room and he goes, "Bob, so good to see you." And he grabs me by the head and he whispers in my ear, "I don't miss you at all." And that's just Don Rickles, because what that is that's just live, just for you. It's sotto voce. It's like Godfather, like, "Come here, I want to tell you something," and then he tells you, and it's the biggest insult it could possibly be. And we would have conversations, and I laughed so hard. I got to make him laugh once, which made me very happy. I would make him laugh and then would normally, if he laughed at something I said, he would look at me and go, "Shut up." But he wasn't supposed to eat sweet. He was diabetic, and we would go to a restaurant that we go to. I can plug it. What the heck do we care? It's Craig's, because everybody here, I'm sure, is a giant fan. And he would get the little hot dogs, but he's not supposed to have them. So I would order them because he liked them. Like my dad. You get your dad what he wants.
The pigs in the blanket.
Yeah, pigs in a blanket. Who hasn't had that? I went to your bachelor party. So, so he has them on the table, and his wife, Barbara, who I love so much, and she's like, "Where'd you get those, Don?" He goes, "It's a restaurant. What do you mean where I get them?" And then she gets up and goes to the bathroom, and I looked at him, and I said, "You got to get out of this," about his wife. Yeah, right. And no one's laughing here, but he found it very funny.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't care that no one's laughing here, but he found that very, very funny, because 50 years of marriage is not something you just get out of.
Right. Fantastic.
It's not like I'm going to finally leave her so I can have gas in someone else's bed.
Bob Saget here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay, Law, you have the floor with Bob Saget. You've done this with several of our celebrity guests, and Bob qualifies for that.
The answer is I would eat a half a burger with a lizard on it.
One of the more iconic TV
that.
shows of our youth and in the 80s and 90s, obviously it's been revived with Fuller House. We're going to do a 5-question Full House trivia for you. Are you ready to embark on this journey?
And the Warriors won last night, which would make Danny Tanner very, very happy.
That's true.
That
Hey,
would wake up San Francisco.
by the way,
right?
Adam Duritz, too. He's a big
He is.
He's nutty.
He's a Berkeley man.
Nutty about the Bay Area.
Okay,
Go for it, Law.
First question. We'll start out with the softball here. What was the name of the family dog, the golden retriever?
The family dog?
Yes.
That would be Comet.
That is correct.
Can I?
Do you know what Comet's biggest franchise was that Comet was a
His
part
biggest
of?
franchise?
Yes.
Well, he
Full
was Air
House-
Bud. Is that what you mean?
That is also
Bob's on
correct.
Well, let me tell you, Stamos was angry because Comet got a movie and we didn't. He was like, "Can't believe Comet got a movie. And I want a feature film, and Comet
was
got a
Air
movie."
Bud. Who knew? Okay. Question number 2.
Comet was
Bob
also
knew.
twins.
Oh, they were
I know more
twins.
about Comet than you do.
Do you know Comet's real name?
Oh, I believe it was Benjamin.
Buddy,
No,
but it was close.
what was it?
Buddy.
Buddy.
Okay. What was
Herschel.
another softball here for you. We're just warming you up here. What was the name of Uncle Jesse's band?
Uncle Jesse's band?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these are the dumbest questions ever. I mean, I was on the show for 8 years. I have to know this. It's the Rippers.
Jesse and the Rippers.
That's what happens when you put duct tape on your crotch.
Okay. Question
And
number
who doesn't
3.
do that?
We're getting
I
a
was
little
at the
more
bachelor
difficult
party. I'm sorry, you're talking and I'm talking. I apologize.
Please, you're doing just fine. All of the following made cameos on Full House except Jaleel White, Little Richard, Scott Baio, Liza Minnelli, and that's all I have for you.
Liza Minnelli was never on there.
That is correct.
Yeah, because I was on the show. I'm trying to tell you.
But we also saw that Law didn't say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was on Full House.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes, we did a whole basketball thing, and I had to play, and I wasn't very good. When I would go to do a layup, both of my feet would kick me in the back of my butt. There was a Russian basketball player that used to do that. Do you know who I'm talking about? Popov or something?
No.
No, that's what I would do before the show. But sorry, but Little Richard accidentally hit Jodie Sweetin and knocked her over. We have
Really?
an outtake of that.
He's
That's
on
amazing.
fire, by the way. I do not know if you can stump him.
Yeah,
Give him one last one.
We're getting a
going.
little difficult. We have
Keep going.
two more difficult ones. What nickname did you, Danny Tanner, give yourself while auditioning for Jesse's new band?
Oh, wow. I don't think I'm going to know this. I don't remember.
You gave yourself the nickname Mildew, and you lost to Viper.
Mildew, because I was so into cleaning products.
And you lost to Viper in a guitar battle for
Oh my
position
God.
as
I don't even know who you are anymore, Bob.
Season 8,
Wow.
episode 6,
I
Rich.
forgot my real identity.
Okay, last
Season
one.
8, episode
What-
6.
There's another one?
What fraternity were you and Joey members of in college?
Oh, I can't remember, but we had to dress up as women to go get our award back.
You did.
And we still do that. But I have to wear the fake falsies. Dave's got the man boobs to cover it. What fraternity? I don't remember. What
Chi
was it?
Sigma Sigma.
What was it?
Chi Sigma
Chi
Sigma.
Sigma Sigma.
Why don't they have monitors? Why he's so far away and his voice is kind of high pitched like the falsetto of Mumford and Sons. I do like this. Last time I was here, you didn't have this.
Didn't have this.
No,
Last
they
time
big-
is full.
Now he's got the big old beard.
I like
Yeah,
it.
Andy Cohen called him a bear. A bona fide bear. 10
Andy
out of
Cohen,
10.
3 out
It's
of 5.
talented.
Congratulations, Bob. You've won absolutely nothing.
No, and I got
except
to talk
another
about
appear-
a show I'm trying to block, but therapy's not helping because, and it's a hit show. Fuller House.
When do we
is
get more Fuller
on
House?
Netflix,
When do we get it?
and it's going to be an auction item for the Scleroderma Research Foundation, June 16th at the Beverly Wilshire.
And again, give the website address one
It's
more time.
srfcure.org.
You are a wonderful man, Bob Saget.
You are. I really appreciate our friendship.
Anytime.
And let's talk about it like no one's here. You got a pretty mouth. I
They
wanna
do not
go-
know what movie that's from. They have no idea what
I
movie
want to
that's
go
from.
water rafting with you. Do you like gladiator movies? You
Well,
ever
that one's Airplane.
Yeah. You
But
ever
he was
see-
doing Deliverance. That's
Yeah,
a-
I was going to say Deliverance. That's
it's
actually what I was
Deliverance
going to
right
say.
there.
Right.
Well
Yeah.
done, Bob
Squeal.
Saget.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me here, and thanks for the Full House trivia. Never done that before.
Bob Saget here on The Rich Eisen Show.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
Isn't it amazing you can download an app with your thumbprint? You should download our app with your thumbprint.